Somewhere in the quiet of the night, when the world has grown still and the last traces of daylight have faded into memory, a sound begins. It is not a song in any traditional sense, not a whisper meant for any particular ear, not quite a hum, though it shares some qualities with one. This sound rises from a small, warm body curled in the darkness, perhaps beside you, perhaps in some distant corner where comfort has been found. It fills the air with something ancient and impossibly gentle, a vibration that seems to resonate with the very fabric of peace itself. This is the sound of purring, a rhythm older than human memory, softer than the gentlest breath, and perhaps the most soothing sound the natural world has ever offered to those who take the time to listen. Tonight, we embark upon a gentle journey into the heart of this tender mystery, exploring why this simple rhythm has cradled humanity toward peaceful sleep for thousands upon thousands of years. We will wander through the science that explains how such a small creature produces such a profound sound, through the history that connects us to ancient peoples who treasured their feline companions, and through the quiet moments of connection that make the bond between cats and humans so enduring. There is no hurry in this exploration. The night stretches before us, patient and kind, and we have all the time we need to let each discovery settle gently into understanding. Close your eyes for a moment, if you wish, and imagine that gentle rumble filling the space around you. Perhaps you have felt it against your chest as a beloved cat nestled close on a cold evening, seeking warmth and offering comfort in return. Perhaps you have heard it drifting from a sunlit corner of a room where a contented cat dozed through a lazy afternoon. The purr is not merely a noise that cats make, it is a frequency, a living pulse that seems to resonate with something deep within the human experience. Scientists have studied it, poets have praised it, and millions of people have fallen asleep to its steady rhythm. Tonight, we join their number, letting the idea of purring carry us toward rest. If you find comfort in these quiet explorations of the natural world, if the gentle pace and soothing tone help you drift toward the rest you deserve, you might consider staying with us for future journeys through the wonders that surround us. A simple gesture of support, perhaps a subscription to this channel or a moment to express your appreciation, helps these peaceful documentaries continue to exist. But there is no pressure, no urgency. Let that thought drift by like a cloud passing across a midnight sky, and return your attention to the warmth of this present moment. We have many hours together, and the night ahead is long and kind and full of gentle discoveries. The domestic cat, that small and graceful companion who has made a home in human hearts across every continent, has walked beside humanity for nearly 10,000 years. In the fertile crescents of the ancient world, where the first farmers gathered grain and stored it against the uncertainties of winter, cats first approached human settlements. They came initially for the mice and other small creatures drawn to those grain stores, finding easy hunting in the shadows of early civilization. But they stayed for something more, something that neither species fully understood at the time, but both came to treasure. Over countless generations, a bond formed between two very different creatures, woven together by mutual benefit, shared curiosity, and eventually genuine affection. And somewhere along that long and winding path of companionship, humans began to notice the purr. Perhaps it was a farmer resting after a long day of labor, feeling the vibration of a cat that had settled upon their lap. Perhaps it was a child holding a kitten close for the first time, marveling at the strange and wonderful sound emanating from such a tiny body. Perhaps it was an elder watching firelight flicker against the walls of a simple dwelling while a cat dozed nearby, adding its gentle rumble to the peaceful sounds of evening. However it happened, that soft vibration entered our collective awareness, and it never truly left. We learned, without words or conscious decision, that this sound meant something precious: safety, contentment, and the quiet joy of being near another living being who meant us no harm. To understand why purring affects us so deeply, we must first explore what a purr actually is in physical terms. Unlike a meow or a hiss, which are produced primarily by the vocal cords alone and occur only during exhalation, purring involves a completely different mechanism. It begins with the larynx, that delicate and remarkable structure in the throat responsible for shaping sound in so many creatures. In cats, the muscles surrounding the larynx contract and relax in a steady, rhythmic pattern, opening and closing a small opening called the glottis many times per second. As air passes through this rapidly oscillating opening during both inhalation and exhalation, it creates the vibrations we recognize as purring. The result is a sound that continues without interruption, breath after breath, for as long as the cat chooses to maintain it. This rhythmic flutter of the laryngeal muscles happens remarkably fast, cycling between 25 and 50 times per second in most domestic cats. The frequency of the resulting sound typically falls between 25 and 150 Hz, placing it in the lower range of what human ears can comfortably perceive. This frequency range is significant beyond mere acoustics, for it happens to correspond with vibrations that researchers in various fields have associated with healing, relaxation, and the reduction of stress. While the full extent of these effects remains a subject of ongoing scientific investigation, the correlation is intriguing and beautiful, suggesting that the cat's purr may offer benefits beyond the simple pleasure of hearing it. The continuous nature of the purr sets it apart from most other animal vocalizations. When a dog barks or a bird sings, the sound occurs only during exhalation and must pause for each breath. The purr, by contrast, flows on without interruption, maintaining its steady rhythm as the cat breathes in and out, creating an unbroken wave of sound that can last for many minutes or even hours. This seamless quality gives the purr its hypnotic, lulling power. Like the endless rhythm of waves upon a shore, or the steady patter of rain against a window, the purr offers the mind something constant to rest upon, a sonic anchor that requires no attention, yet provides continuous comfort. Imagine for a moment that you are a cat. Your world is one of sensation, of warmth and texture and sound and scent. When you purr, you feel the vibration through your entire body, from your whiskers to the tip of your tail. It is a gentle massage from within, a self-generated comfort that asks nothing from the external world. Some scientists believe that cats may purr to soothe themselves during times of stress, uncertainty, or even physical discomfort, using this internal vibration as a form of self-care that predates any human medicine. The purr becomes a kind of treatment administered from the inside out, a natural remedy that cats carry with them wherever they go, available at any moment when comfort is needed. As we continue our gentle exploration, let us consider the many occasions when cats choose to purr. Most commonly, we associate purring with contentment and satisfaction. A well-fed cat, settled in a favorite spot with the afternoon sun warming its fur, will often begin to purr without any apparent prompting from the outside world. This is the purr of satisfaction of a creature entirely at peace with its circumstances, asking nothing more from the universe than this present moment of comfort. It is the sound of enough, of sufficiency, of a creature who has found what it needs and rests content in that discovery. There is wisdom in this purr, a lesson for all of us who sometimes forget that peace can be found in the simplest of circumstances. Yet cats also purr in moments that seem far removed from contentment. Veterinarians and animal caregivers have long observed that injured or unwell cats will sometimes purr steadily, even when clearly experiencing discomfort or distress. This observation has led researchers to theorize that purring may serve as a self-soothing mechanism, a way for cats to calm themselves and perhaps even accelerate their own healing during difficult times. The purr, it seems, is not simply an expression of happiness, but a tool for restoration, a biological response that helps the cat navigate both the pleasures and the challenges of existence. In this light, the purr becomes even more remarkable, a gift that serves many purposes. Mother cats purr to their kittens from the earliest days of life, establishing a communication that begins before the kittens can even see or hear in the conventional sense. Newborn kittens enter the world with their eyes sealed shut and their ear canals not yet fully developed, leaving them temporarily without the senses that will later guide so much of their experience. In those first vulnerable weeks, the vibration of their mother's purr becomes a beacon they can feel through their tiny bodies, a physical signal that guides them toward warmth, toward nourishment, toward the safety of her protective presence. The purr is, in this way, a form of communication that transcends sound itself, speaking directly through touch and vibration to creatures not yet ready for the world of hearing. Kittens themselves begin purring when they are just a few days old, long before they can see the world around them or hear their mother's other vocalizations clearly. This early purring serves as a signal back to their mother, letting her know they are alive, present, and receiving her care. It is a conversation conducted entirely through vibration, a dialogue of presence and reassurance that predates the kitten's awareness of anything beyond warmth and touch and the satisfaction of nourishment. In this earliest communication, we see the purr at its most essential, stripped of all complexity, simply one being telling another, "I am here, I am well, we are together." This primal exchange contains something beautiful about the nature of connection itself. As cats mature and venture out into a wider world, they continue to purr in social contexts that carry meaning beyond simple contentment. Many cats purr when greeting their human companions after an absence, when being stroked in a favorite spot, or when anticipating something pleasant like a meal or a session of play. These purrs seem to carry a communicative intent, signaling friendliness and inviting continued interaction. Some researchers describe this as the solicitation purr, a gentle request wrapped in vibration, a way of asking for something while simultaneously expressing trust and affection. This purr is nearly impossible for most humans to ignore, which may well be its purpose. The solicitation purr is particularly fascinating from a scientific perspective. Detailed acoustic studies have found that when cats want something from their human companions, their purrs often contain an embedded, higher frequency component, almost like a subtle cry hidden within the familiar rumble. This higher frequency triggers nurturing instincts in humans, much as a baby's cry might demand attention and care. It is a remarkable adaptation, evidence that cats have learned, over countless generations of living alongside us, how to speak to our deeper instincts, how to make requests that bypass our conscious minds and appeal directly to our impulse to provide and protect. Gently moving on from the mechanics of purring, let us consider why humans find this particular sound so remarkably soothing, so conducive to relaxation and sleep. Part of the answer lies in the frequency itself. Sounds in the low frequency range tend naturally to be calming to the human nervous system, perhaps because of associations formed deep in our evolutionary past. Low frequencies are the sounds of distant thunder rumbling across summer plains, of wind moving through ancient forests, of the slow pulse of ocean waves against primordial shores. Our ancestors lived among these sounds for countless generations, and something in us still responds to them with a sense of peace and rightness, a feeling that all is well in the world. There is also the powerful matter of personal association. For those who have known the companionship of cats, who have spent evenings with a warm feline presence nearby, the sound of purring becomes inextricably linked with moments of comfort and rest. We hear the purr and remember lazy Sunday afternoons, quiet evenings by lamplight, the simple pleasure of a warm presence beside us as we read or watched the rain. These memories are encoded in our minds, and the purr becomes a key that unlocks them, returning us to states of relaxation we have known before. Each time we hear a purr, we are not only experiencing the present sound, but revisiting every peaceful moment that sound has accompanied. But even those who have never lived with cats, who have no personal memories of purring to draw upon, often find the sound calming when they encounter it. This suggests something more universal is at work, something that operates independently of individual experience. Perhaps it is the rhythmic, repetitive nature of the sound, similar in its effect to white noise or the gentle percussion of rainfall. Our brains are wired to find comfort in predictable patterns, sounds that pose no threat and require no particular attention or response. The purr asks nothing of us and promises quiet continuity, a sonic blanket against the chaos and noise of the world, available to anyone who takes the time to listen. The vibration component of purring adds another dimension to the experience of comfort, one that engages more than just our sense of hearing. When a purring cat rests against us, presses its small, warm body to our chest or our leg, we do not only hear the purr, we feel it directly through our own bodies. This tactile sensation engages our sense of touch, creating a multi-sensory experience of calm that penetrates more deeply than sound alone could achieve. The gentle vibration against our skin becomes almost like a slow massage, releasing tension we may not have known we carried, softening muscles that had been held tight against the stresses of the day. Sound and touch together weave a deeper spell of tranquility. Let us pause here for a moment, in the way that sleep documentaries should, and simply breathe together in the quiet of the night. There is no hurry in this exploration, no deadline pressing us forward, no test waiting at the end. The cat teaches us this lesson constantly through its very way of being. That presence matters more than progress, that stillness holds its own profound rewards, that sometimes the most valuable thing we can do is simply rest. Allow the information we have gathered so far to settle gently into your awareness, like leaves drifting down to rest upon still water, finding their places without effort or struggle. When we speak of cats, we most often mean the domestic cat, that familiar and beloved companion found in homes across every inhabited continent on Earth. Yet the family of felines is vast and wonderfully varied, and the gift of purring extends beyond our household friends to their wild cousins in forests, mountains, and plains around the world. Some of these wild relatives possess the ability to purr in ways remarkably similar to our domestic companions, though the mechanics differ in interesting ways depending on the structure of their throats. Let us take a quiet tour through the broader world of purring creatures, appreciating the diversity of this gentle gift. The cat family, known scientifically as Felidae, is divided broadly into two groups based on the structure of a small but significant bone called the hyoid, located in the throat near the larynx. In smaller cats, including our domestic companions, this bone is completely ossified, meaning it has hardened into solid bone over the course of evolution. This rigid structure allows for the continuous vibration that produces the purring we know so well, but it prevents the production of the deep roars associated with the great cats. These smaller cats have traded one form of voice for another, choosing the gentle rumble over the distant proclamation. Among the wild cats that share this purring ability are the bobcat of North American forests, the lynx of northern woodlands, the beautifully spotted ocelot of Central and South American jungles, and, surprisingly, even the cougar. Yes, the cougar, sometimes called the mountain lion or puma, despite its impressive size and strength, is technically classified among the purring cats rather than the roaring cats. These magnificent creatures, roaming the mountains and forests of the Americas from Canada to the tip of South America, carry within them the same gentle mechanism as the small cat curled at the foot of your bed. Nature delights in such surprising connections across scales and species. The larger cats, those magnificent creatures we call the great cats, have a different arrangement in their throats. Lions and tigers, leopards and jaguars possess a hyoid bone that is only partially ossified, remaining somewhat flexible and elastic. This flexibility allows them to produce their famous roars, sounds that can carry for miles across the savanna or echo through the jungle canopy, announcing their presence to rivals and potential mates alike. However, this same flexibility prevents them from purring in the continuous way that smaller cats do so effortlessly. They have traded one form of voice for another, each adaptation serving the needs of their particular way of life. The cheetah occupies a fascinating middle ground in this spectrum of feline voices. Despite being one of the larger wildcats, built for incredible speed across the open plains, the cheetah is classified among the purring cats rather than the roaring cats. Cheetahs purr with obvious enthusiasm, their slender, spotted bodies vibrating with the same gentle frequency as domestic cats relaxing on a sunny windowsill. They also chirp and churr in ways remarkably similar to house cats, producing sounds that seem almost too domestic for such a wild and elegant creature. It is a reminder that beneath the spotted coat and extraordinary athletic ability lies a creature not so different from our familiar friends. Beyond the cat family entirely, a few other mammals have developed their own versions of purring, evidence that nature finds certain solutions again and again when they prove useful. Certain species of genets and civets, distant relatives of cats from the same broader order of carnivores, produce purr-like sounds when content and comfortable. Some mongooses vocalize in ways that resemble purring, though the mechanics differ somewhat from what we see in cats. Even a few species of bears have been observed making low, rhythmic sounds when particularly content, though whether these truly qualify as purrs remains a matter of gentle scientific debate among researchers who study such things. Perhaps most surprisingly to those who associate purring exclusively with cats, rabbits have been known to make a soft, purring sound when deeply content and relaxed. This is not produced by the larynx in the way that cats purr, but rather by gently grinding their teeth together in a particular rhythmic pattern. The result is a soft, steady clicking that rabbit owners often describe as purring, recognizing the similarity in function even if the mechanism differs entirely. It serves the same communicative purpose as a cat's purr, signaling contentment and inviting continued affection from those nearby. Nature, it seems, has discovered the value of peaceful sounds again and again across very different branches of the tree of life. The fact that purring or purr-like vocalizations have evolved multiple times in different ways across various species separated by millions of years of evolution suggests strongly that such sounds serve important biological and social functions. Evolution does not often waste precious energy on useless traits. Behaviors that persist across generations and appear independently in different lineages almost always offer genuine advantages. Whether for communication between parent and offspring, for self-soothing during times of stress, for bonding between individuals, or perhaps even for healing, the ability to produce calming vibrations appears to offer real benefits. The creatures who purr have found something valuable in this gentle sound. As we continue our journey through the night, let us carry with us this awareness of connection across the natural world. The purr beside you, should you be fortunate enough to have a cat nearby at this moment, links you to cougars padding through mountain forests, to cheetahs resting in sun-baked African grass, to countless generations of felines stretching back millions of years into the deep past. In that small vibration emanating from a small, warm body is a thread connecting you to the vast and ancient tapestry of life on Earth, a reminder that we are all part of something far older and larger than ourselves, something ongoing and continuous. The night continues, soft and patient, and so do we, moving gently from one idea to the next without hurry or urgency. Take a moment, if you wish, to notice your own breathing, the gentle rhythm of air moving in and out of your body without conscious effort. In some ways, you are not so different from a purring cat, your body engaged in its own continuous cycles, its own peaceful repetitions that sustain life moment by moment. Life itself is rhythm, from the beating of the heart to the spinning of the planet through space, from the rising and falling of the chest to the cycling of the seasons. The purr is simply one beautiful expression of this fundamental truth that underlies all existence. Throughout human history, across every culture that has encountered them, cats have held special and often honored places in the human imagination. Their mysterious nature, their fierce independence, their remarkable grace in movement, their ability to see in darkness when human eyes fail, all of these qualities have inspired admiration, reverence, and deep affection across the millennia. And through all these cultural encounters, through all the stories humans have told about their feline companions, the purr has been there as a constant undercurrent of comfort, a gentle sound beneath the changing narratives and shifting beliefs. In ancient Egypt, cats achieved a status unlike anywhere else in the ancient world, elevated to a position of genuine religious significance. They were associated with the goddess Bastet, protector of home and family, guardian against evil spirits and misfortune. Egyptians so valued their cats that harming one, even accidentally, was considered a serious offense against both law and divine order. Cats were mummified with great care and ceremony when they passed, and families mourned their deaths as deeply as they would mourn a human relative. The Egyptian home, it seems, was filled with the gentle sound of purring, a sound considered blessed and auspicious. The ancient Egyptians recognized something profound in the cat's essential nature, something that resonated with their own values and beliefs. Here was a creature that chose to be near humans of its own accord, that offered companionship without surrendering its dignity, that brought practical benefits in controlling the mice and snakes that threatened grain stores while asking only for shelter and affection in return. The purr must have seemed almost magical to them, a sound of blessing from a creature they considered touched by the divine. In the cool nights along the great river Nile, beneath stars that ancient Egyptians mapped with care, that gentle rumble filled countless homes with peace. From Egypt, cats gradually spread throughout the ancient world, carried by trade and migration to new lands and new peoples. They traveled on merchant ships, prized for their ability to protect precious grain stores from the ever-present threat of rodents during long sea voyages. Phoenician traders carried them across the Mediterranean to distant ports. Roman soldiers encountered them in Egypt and other lands, and some brought them home to the Italian peninsula. Slowly, steadily, over the course of centuries, cats made their way into homes across Europe, Asia, and eventually to every corner of the inhabited world, bringing their purrs with them wherever they went. In medieval Europe, the relationship between cats and humans became more complicated than it had been in ancient Egypt. Superstition sometimes cast cats, particularly those with black coats, in an unfavorable light, associating them with witchcraft and dark forces. Yet even during these troubled times, cats remained essential in homes and farms and monasteries, valued for their practical ability to control the mice that would otherwise devastate food stores. The practical folk who lived and worked alongside cats knew their true value despite the fearful stories. In the quiet of cottages and castles alike, cats continued to purr, offering their timeless comfort to those wise enough to accept it. The Far East developed its own rich and beautiful traditions around cats, celebrating them in art and literature and folklore for centuries. In Japan, the Manakai Neko, or beckoning cat, became a beloved symbol of good fortune and prosperity, its raised paw inviting luck into homes and businesses. Chinese artists painted cats with delicate brushstrokes, capturing their elegant forms and peaceful repose with exquisite skill and sensitivity. Throughout Asia, cats were appreciated for their grace and usefulness, and storytellers wove them into folklore as creatures of wisdom, mystery, and supernatural power. Across all these cultures, the purr transcended language and belief, speaking directly to something universal in the human heart. In the modern era, cats have become among the most beloved pets in many countries around the world, their population numbering in the hundreds of millions. People welcome them into their homes, drawn by their relatively independent nature, their cleanliness and self-sufficiency, and their remarkable capacity for quiet affection. The internet age has brought cats new and unprecedented fame. Their images and antics shared across the globe in countless videos and photographs that bring joy to millions. Yet beneath all the novelty of digital sharing and viral celebrity, the essential relationship remains unchanged across millennia: a human, a cat, and the gentle purr that flows between them. Writers and artists have long tried to capture in words and images what makes the cat so endlessly compelling, so worthy of attention and admiration. The poet T.S. Eliot devoted an entire book of whimsical poems to cats and their mysterious ways. The painter Pierre Bonnard filled canvas after canvas with their languid, graceful forms in domestic settings. Writers from Ernest Hemingway to Ursula K. Le Guin counted cats among their closest companions and muses. Something in the cat's nature speaks to the creative mind, perhaps the same quality that makes their purr so endlessly soothing. They model a certain way of being in the world that artists find inspiring, attentive yet relaxed, independent yet affectionate, fully present in each moment. Perhaps what draws us most powerfully to cats is their complete mastery of the art of rest, their unapologetic embrace of stillness and sleep. Cats sleep somewhere between 12 and 16 hours each day on average, moving through their lives with an unhurried grace that seems almost meditative in its quality. When awake, they are alert and fully present to their surroundings. When asleep, they surrender completely to stillness without apparent concern for what they might be missing. This remarkable capacity for deep rest, punctuated by moments of playful engagement and focused attention, offers a model of balance that many busy humans secretly envy and might do well to learn from. And always, woven through these many hours of rest, like a golden thread through soft fabric, is the gentle purr. It accompanies the cat through dreams and waking, through the slow drift from alert activity to deep sleep, and back again over the course of each day. For those who share their lives with cats, this sound becomes a kind of background music to domestic life, so familiar and constant that it can almost be forgotten in its ubiquity, yet instantly noticed when absent. The purr is like the heartbeat of the home itself, steady and reassuring, a living pulse that reminds us we are not alone, that another creature shares our space and finds it good. Let us now turn our attention to the science of sound itself, exploring why certain frequencies affect us so profoundly, reaching past our conscious minds to influence our very physiology. Sound, at its most fundamental essence, is simply vibration traveling through a medium, usually the air around us. When these vibrations reach our ears, they set the delicate eardrum in motion, and this mechanical motion is translated by an intricate biological system into electrical signals our brain interprets as sound. But the effects of sound extend far beyond mere hearing, influencing our bodies and minds in ways we are only beginning to fully understand. Different frequencies of sound affect the human body and mind in noticeably different ways. High-pitched sounds tend to alert us, capturing attention and sometimes creating tension or unease. This response makes perfect evolutionary sense. Many alarm calls in nature, from the screech of a bird spotting a predator to the cry of a frightened infant, are high-pitched sounds designed to cut through ambient noise and demand immediate response. Low-pitched sounds, by contrast, often signal stability and safety, carrying associations of permanence and peace. They are the rumble of a distant mountain, the low hum of the earth itself, the deep purr of a contented cat. The human nervous system responds to these different frequencies in measurable, predictable ways that researchers have studied extensively. Low-frequency sounds can help activate the parasympathetic nervous system, sometimes called the rest and digest system, which is responsible for calming the body after stress and promoting recovery. When this aspect of our biology is properly engaged, heart rate slows, blood pressure decreases, muscles release their tension, and the body shifts into a state of restoration and peace. It is no coincidence that lullabies across every human culture tend to be low and slow in their melodies, instinctively mimicking these calming frequencies. The frequency range of a typical cat's purr, falling roughly between 25 and 150 Hz, sits squarely within the range that researchers have associated with various therapeutic effects. Scientists studying the effects of vibration on bone health have found that frequencies in this range can actually stimulate bone cells to increase their activity, potentially promoting growth and repair. Physical therapists and rehabilitation specialists sometimes use similar frequencies in vibration therapy for various conditions. The cat, it seems, carries unnatural healing instruments within its throat, a tool for wellness that requires no prescription and comes with no side effects beyond perhaps excessive cuteness. Various studies have explored whether cat owners might experience certain health benefits compared to those who do not share their lives with feline companions. Some research has suggested lower rates of cardiovascular issues among cat owners, along with reduced stress hormone levels and improved overall mood. While many factors undoubtedly contribute to these outcomes, including the general benefits of companionship and the responsibilities that come with caring for another creature, some researchers have wondered whether the purr itself might play a role in these health differences. The question remains open and continues to inspire investigation, but the possibility is certainly intriguing to consider. Beyond the specific frequency of the sound, there is the powerful matter of rhythm to consider. The purr is deeply and consistently rhythmic, a steady pulse that varies little from one moment to the next, maintaining its pattern with remarkable constancy for as long as the cat chooses to produce it. Rhythmic sounds have been used by humans across every culture throughout history to induce relaxation and even altered states of consciousness. Drumming circles, chanting traditions, the repetitive prayers found in many spiritual practices all harness the power of rhythm to quiet the busy analytical mind. The purr offers a natural, biological version of this ancient technique. The brain responds to rhythmic auditory stimuli in fascinating and well-documented ways. Steady, predictable sounds can entrain brainwave patterns, gently guiding mental activity toward calmer, more relaxed states through a process that happens largely outside conscious awareness. This phenomenon underlies many forms of sound therapy and certain types of meditation music designed to promote relaxation or sleep. The continuous, unbroken nature of the cat's purr, flowing seamlessly through breath after breath without pause or interruption, makes it particularly well-suited to this kind of mental entrainment, offering the brain a consistent pattern upon which to synchronize. There is also the simple but profound power of personal association in how we experience sounds. If you have experienced comfort and safety in the presence of a purring cat, if you have fallen asleep to that gentle rumble or felt your stress ease when a cat settled on your lap, your brain has encoded those experiences deeply. Each subsequent purr triggers memories of safety and peace, creating a positive feedback loop that strengthens with each repetition. The purr becomes not just a sound, but a signal, a learned cue that tells your nervous system it is safe to relax, that danger is absent and comfort is present. As we move gently onward through the night, consider how remarkable it truly is that such a small creature can produce such a profound effect on beings so much larger than itself. A cat weighing perhaps 8 or 10 pounds, small enough to hold in your arms, contains within it the ability to measurably alter human physiology, to slow racing hearts, to ease anxious minds, to guide restless sleepers toward peaceful dreams. This is power of a subtle and gentle kind, wielded without intention or strategy, offered freely to any who come near and choose to receive it. The cat simply purrs, and the world around it softens in response. Let this scientific knowledge settle gently into your awareness without strain or effort to memorize. You need not remember every detail or hold on to every fact we have explored together. What matters most is not the precise information, but rather the feeling, the growing understanding that purring is not simply pleasant, but genuinely measurably beneficial in ways that science continues to uncover. The cats who have shared our lives across the millennia have given us far more than simple companionship. They have offered us a natural tool for peace, a biological medicine without side effects, a lullaby written in vibration rather than words. This gift, freely given, deserves our quiet gratitude. The night deepens around us, and our exploration continues into ever gentler territories as the hours pass. Let us consider now the sleeping cat, that undisputed master of rest and relaxation, and what wisdom we might draw from watching it drift into dreams. Cats spend roughly 2/3 of their entire lives asleep, an amount that might seem excessive or even lazy until we understand the evolutionary purpose behind such prolonged rest. Their sleep is not laziness or time wasted, but rather strategy, a careful conservation of energy for the moments when it will matter most, when alertness and quick action become necessary. Cats are crepuscular creatures by their essential nature, meaning they are most naturally active during the twilight hours of dawn and dusk, when light is dim and shadows long. These transitional times are when their wild ancestors hunted most successfully, when the fading or growing light favored their superior night vision over that of their prey. The long hours of deep sleep during the bright day and the darkest night serve to restore their energy for these peak times of activity, preparing body and mind for the focused effort of the hunt. Even domestic cats, who face no need to hunt for survival, retain this ancient biological rhythm written into their very genes. Cat sleep moves through cycles of varying depth, much like human sleep does over the course of a night. They experience both light sleep, during which they remain somewhat aware of their surroundings and can wake quickly if needed, and deep sleep, during which they are far less responsive to external stimuli. Scientific research strongly suggests that cats also dream, entering a phase of sleep characterized by rapid eye movement beneath closed lids. During this REM phase, sleeping cats sometimes twitch their whiskers, flex their paws, and move their tails, as if acting out the adventures unfolding in their hidden dream world. What visions come to cats in these dreaming moments, we cannot know with certainty, for they cannot tell us, and we cannot enter their sleeping minds. But it is comforting and pleasant to imagine fields of tall grass swaying in gentle breezes, the flutter of small birds just within reach, warm patches of sunlight falling through high windows, the scent of familiar places and beloved companions. Perhaps they dream of their waking lives replayed and rearranged, as we often do, the brain processing the experiences of the day and filing them away in memory. Perhaps they dream of things we cannot imagine, visions unique to the feline experience of being in the world. When cats choose to sleep near their human companions, they often continue purring even as they drift into slumber, the sound softening but not ceasing as sleep takes hold. This sustained purring during the transition into sleep suggests that the behavior is deeply automatic, woven into the cat's very being at a fundamental level rather than consciously produced and controlled. The sleeping, purring cat becomes a kind of living white noise machine, a warm biological source of soothing sound that asks nothing in return except perhaps a comfortable spot and the blessed absence of disturbance. What a generous gift to offer while doing nothing more than resting. Humans who regularly sleep with cats nearby often report that they sleep more deeply and wake feeling more rested than when sleeping alone. While controlled scientific studies on this phenomenon remain limited, the anecdotal evidence from countless cat owners is remarkably consistent and compelling. The warmth of a small living body pressed close, the rhythmic sound and vibration of the purr, the simple comfort of knowing that another creature trusts you enough to sleep vulnerably beside you. All of these elements may contribute to a profound sense of safety and companionship that deepens sleep and improves its quality. Trust is absolutely central to a cat's decision to sleep near you, and understanding this adds depth to the experience. Cats are both predator and potential prey in the wild, and sleeping is undeniably their most vulnerable state, a time when their remarkable reflexes and keen senses offer little protection. When a cat chooses to curl up beside you, close enough to touch, it is offering a profound compliment that should not be taken lightly. The cat has assessed you thoroughly and found you trustworthy, a being in whose presence it can completely release its constant vigilance. This mutual trust between different species is a quiet, everyday miracle. As you lie in your own bed tonight, perhaps already drifting toward the edges of sleep while these words wash gently over you, consider what it truly means to rest. Sleep is not merely the absence of wakefulness, not simply the cessation of daily activity, but an active and vital process of restoration and renewal. During sleep, the brain consolidates the memories formed during waking hours. The body repairs cellular damage and builds new tissue. The mind processes and integrates the emotional experiences of the day. Sleep is essential to health and well-being, and should be approached not as a failure to remain productive, but as a sacred practice of necessary self-care. The cat models this healthy approach to rest without apology or hesitation. It does not struggle against tiredness or push through exhaustion for the sake of productivity or appearance. When rest calls, the cat answers promptly and completely, surrendering to sleep with a totality that many busy humans have forgotten how to achieve. This simple wisdom, so natural to our feline friends, is something many of us might benefit from reclaiming in our overscheduled modern lives. Perhaps the cat, purring contentedly in its chosen corner, is gently teaching us by example to honor our own need for rest and restoration. Gently moving forward through our nocturnal journey, we notice that the hours have been passing softly, almost imperceptibly, as hours do when one is at rest. Time flows differently in the darkness, without the harsh markers of daylight schedules and demanding clocks. This is the time when the world naturally slows its frantic pace, when even the busiest minds begin to quiet their endless chatter, when the body's ancient rhythms reassert their gentle authority. If you are still awake and aware, let yourself sink a little deeper into whatever comfort surrounds you. There is nothing required of you now except to rest and, if you wish, to listen. The purr continues in our imagination, steady and patient as always, through all the hours of the night. It does not tire or falter or lose its rhythm, maintaining its gentle constancy without apparent effort. This reliability is part of its profound power to comfort and soothe. In a world filled with change and uncertainty, where so much shifts and transforms without warning, the purr offers something wonderfully reliable, a sound you can count on to remain essentially the same moment after moment. Like the ticking of a familiar clock, or the steady rhythm of peaceful breathing, it creates a sense of gentle order, a predictable structure within which peace can flourish. Let us now consider the art of truly listening, a practice that can deepen our experience of any sound, including and especially the gentle purr. True listening is something more than simply hearing, more than the passive reception of sound waves by the ear. It involves active attention, genuine presence, and a willingness to let the sound fill your awareness completely. When we truly listen to a purr, giving it our full and undivided attention, we begin to notice its subtle variations, its gentle fluctuations in volume and tone, the way it rises and falls ever so slightly with each of the cat's peaceful breaths. Each individual cat's purr is unique, as distinctive in its own way as a fingerprint or a human voice. Some cats purr loudly and enthusiastically, producing a rumble you can hear clearly from across even a large room. Others purr so softly that you must lean close or place your hand gently on their chest to feel the vibration beneath their fur. Some purrs are rough and rusty, almost mechanical in their texture. Others are smooth as flowing water or soft silk. Learning the particular purr of a cat you love is a way of knowing that individual creature more intimately, recognizing its unique voice among all others. Some cats develop what longtime owners affectionately call a motor purr, a loud and robust rumble that seems almost mechanical in its enthusiastic intensity. These vigorous purrs can fill an entire room with their warm sound, leaving absolutely no doubt about the depth of the cat's contentment and comfort. Other cats are far more reserved in their vocal expressions, their purrs audible only in the quietest moments, when the television is silent and the household has settled into the stillness of evening. Each style has its own charm and meaning within the relationship between cat and human companion. There are cats who rarely purr at all under ordinary circumstances, reserving this intimate gift for special moments of particularly deep connection and contentment. Their purrs, when they finally come, feel precious and meaningful, like rare and delicate flowers that bloom only under exactly the right conditions of warmth and light and care. If you are fortunate enough to share your life with such a reserved cat, each instance of purring becomes a small but significant event, a gift to be noted and genuinely appreciated. Sometimes rarity itself heightens value, making what is uncommon feel all the more special when it arrives. The context surrounding a purr adds layers of meaning to the experience that go beyond the sound itself. A purr offered when you return home after a long absence speaks eloquently of connection and welcome, of having been missed and being glad to see you again. A purr that begins spontaneously when you settle into your favorite reading chair suggests comfortable companionship, a shared contentment in simply being together. A purr that rumbles on steadily as the cat drifts into sleep beside you expresses deep trust and peaceful security. Although the physical mechanism is the same each time, the emotional message varies beautifully with circumstance. Listening attentively to a purr can become a form of meditation, a practice for quieting the busy mind and returning attention to the present moment. Focus your awareness on the sound itself, letting other thoughts and concerns drift away like clouds passing across an empty sky. Notice the texture of the purr, its steady rhythm, the way it seems to pulse with living warmth. When your mind inevitably wanders, as all minds do, gently return your attention to the sound without judgment or frustration. This simple practice, using the purr as an anchor for present moment awareness, can bring remarkable calm. For those without cats physically nearby, recordings of purring can offer surprisingly similar benefits to the real thing. The sound itself, regardless of whether a living cat produces it in the same room or it plays through speakers from a recording made long ago, carries the same calming frequencies and soothing rhythms. While the tactile component of feeling a warm body and direct vibration is naturally lost in a recording, the auditory experience remains largely intact. Many people have discovered that recorded purrs make excellent sleep aids, finding that even the representation of the sound helps guide them toward the rest they seek. The internet age has made the soothing sound of purring more widely accessible than ever before in human history. Recordings of purring cats can be found on countless websites and streaming platforms, some lasting for many hours, specifically designed for relaxation and sleep. Virtual cats, in a sense, now extend their gentle comfort to anyone in the world who seeks it, regardless of whether they have access to a real feline companion. The same technology that so often seems to agitate our minds and fragment our attention can also, in this lovely way, serve as a vehicle for ancient peace. Yet there remains something irreplaceable and precious about the presence of a real, living cat that no recording can fully replicate, no matter how high its quality. The gentle warmth radiating from a small, furry body, the unpredictable moments of spontaneous interaction and affection, the knowledge that another conscious being shares your space and has chosen to be near you. These dimensions of the experience cannot be captured and stored. If you have the opportunity and circumstances to share your life with a cat, the purr becomes part of a larger, richer relationship, woven seamlessly into the daily fabric of life, enriched by accumulating memories and the sweet anticipation of moments yet to come. As we continue through these quiet hours together, take a moment to appreciate whatever sounds surround you in this present moment. Perhaps you hear the gentle hum of a heating system maintaining comfortable warmth, the distant murmur of nighttime traffic on far-off streets, the settling sounds of an old house adjusting to the cool of night. Every environment has its own particular soundscape, its own acoustic character, and within any soundscape we can usually find elements that soothe us if we listen with openness and attention. The purr is one particularly beautiful note in the larger music of existence, but it harmonizes with many others. The relationship between cats and humans has always been one of mutual benefit, a partnership in which both parties receive something valuable, though the specific benefits differ in their nature. Cats receive reliable food, safe shelter, physical warmth during cold seasons, and in most cases, genuine affection and companionship from their human hosts. Humans receive company in their homes, entertainment from watching feline antics, and the countless subtle gifts that come from sharing intimate space with another living, breathing creature who sees the world so differently. The purr stands at the very center of this ancient exchange, a gift offered freely that costs the cat nothing whatsoever to give. The domestication of cats followed a notably different path than that of dogs, our other most common companion animals. Dogs were actively domesticated by humans over many generations, selectively bred for specific tasks like hunting, herding, and guarding, their genetics deliberately shaped by human intention and preference. Cats, by striking contrast, largely domesticated themselves through their own initiative. They approached human settlements of their own accord, found practical benefit in the arrangement, appreciated the easy hunting of attracted rodents, and simply decided to stay. Their fundamental independence was never fully surrendered, which is part of what makes their affection, when voluntarily offered, feel so meaningful and genuine. This essential independence in the cat's character means that when a cat actively chooses to be near you, it represents a genuine and freely made choice rather than dependent need. The cat could find food elsewhere if necessary, could seek warmth in many alternative places, could survive quite well in many climates without direct human assistance. Yet it chooses to stay close, to curl beside you on the couch, to offer its purr as you work or read or rest. This voluntary nature of feline affection, this sense that the cat stays because it wants to, rather than because it must, adds a dimension that many people find particularly touching and valuable. Cats communicate through an intricate vocabulary of subtle signals, and learning to read these signals deepens and enriches the relationship between human and feline immensely. A slow, deliberate blink from a cat is widely recognized as a sign of trust and affection, sometimes called a cat kiss by those who know them well. If you return this slow blink in kind, you are speaking the cat's own language, acknowledging the bond between you in terms the cat can understand. This wordless conversation, punctuated throughout by the comfortable rumble of purring, creates an intimacy that transcends the vast differences between species. The expressive tail of a cat tells stories of its own to those who learn to read its eloquent language. A tail held high and straight signals confidence and contentment, a greeting offered to trusted companions. A tail swaying gently from side to side indicates interest, curiosity, or pleasant anticipation of something about to happen. A tail puffed up to twice its normal size signals alarm or defensive arousal, though we hope you encounter this display only rarely. Learning to interpret these visual cues, along with the many variations of meows, chirps, trills, and of course the ever-present purr, opens a window into the cat's rich inner world. Cats also communicate extensively through scent, a chemical language largely invisible and undetectable to human senses. When a cat rubs its face against your leg, your hand, or your furniture, it is depositing invisible pheromones from glands located around its cheeks and chin, marking you and your possessions as familiar and safe. This behavior, often accompanied by contented purring, creates an olfactory map of the cat's territory, a map in which you hold a prominent and important place. In the cat's scent-based understanding of the world, you are quite literally part of home itself, marked and claimed as belonging to its sphere of safety. The kneading behavior of cats, that rhythmic pressing and pushing of paws against soft surfaces, originates in the very earliest days of kittenhood. Young kittens knead against their mothers while nursing, stimulating the flow of nourishing milk through this instinctive motion. Adult cats often continue this behavior throughout their lives, when feeling deeply content and secure, frequently purring intensely at the same time. If your cat kneads against you, pressing its paws rhythmically into your lap or chest, it is expressing a primal and profound comfort, treating you as it once treated the original source of all nourishment, warmth, and safety. Every individual cat develops its own distinct personality over the course of its life, shaped by the complex interplay of genetics, early experiences, and the specific environment in which it lives and grows. Some cats are bold and adventurous explorers, constantly investigating their surroundings. Others are cautious and contemplative observers, preferring to watch from safe vantage points. Some cats are chatty and highly vocal, commenting on everything. Others remain nearly silent throughout their lives. This rich individuality means that each relationship between a particular cat and a particular human is genuinely unique, its own small world of developing habits, mutual expectations, and shared routines. The loss of a beloved cat is a genuine and profound grief, felt as keenly and deeply as any significant loss in life. Those who have not experienced such a bond may underestimate its emotional power, may dismiss it as merely losing a pet. But those who have lived with and loved a cat know the true depth of such connections. The absence of a familiar purr leaves a silence in the home that seems to echo with memory, a void where warmth and companionship once resided. Yet even in the midst of grief, we can hold space for gratitude for what was shared across the years together. The years of companionship, the countless quiet evenings side by side, the innumerable small purrs that made home feel complete, all of these remain as treasures in memory, even when the physical presence is gone. Grief and gratitude can exist together, intertwined like threads in a fabric, the sorrow of loss inseparable from the appreciation of what was given and received. Perhaps the grief itself is a measure of the love, evidence of how much the relationship mattered, how deeply the connection was felt. The purr echoes on in memory long after the last breath, a sound that can bring both tears and tender smiles. If you currently share your life with a cat, take a moment now to appreciate this living presence in your home and your heart. If your cat is nearby at this moment, perhaps resting peacefully, perhaps purring softly as you listen to these words, consider the small and lovely miracle of your connection across the vast gulf between species. Across millions of years of separate evolution, across the immense differences between your respective ways of experiencing the world, you have found a way to live together in mutual peace and affection. This is no small achievement. It deserves a moment of conscious, gentle acknowledgement. we have traveled far together through the gentle realm of purring tonight, exploring the terrain of science and history, culture and feeling, biology and emotion. Now, as the hours grow later and the night deepens around us, let us allow our exploration to become even softer, even slower, matching the pace of approaching sleep. The mind may be growing naturally tired now, and that weariness is perfectly natural and welcome. We are, after all, creatures moving through the same quiet hours when cats dream their secret, unknowable dreams, when the world rests and restores itself for another day. Consider how truly remarkable it is that cats have followed humanity across every corner of the globe, adapting to climates and conditions vastly different from their original homeland. They have sailed on wooden ships across storm-tossed oceans, crossed mountain ranges and vast deserts, established themselves in environments ranging from tropical heat to near Arctic cold. Wherever humans have made permanent homes, cats have somehow found a way to be there beside them, offering their companionship and their gentle purrs. They are among the most successful and widespread mammals on Earth, and their remarkable success is intimately intertwined with our own journey as a species. In the frozen north and the humid tropics, in crowded urban apartments and quiet rural farmhouses, the purr remains essentially constant, the same sound it has been for countless generations. It is the same gentle vibration heard by ancient pharaohs in their palaces and by humble farmers in their simple cottages. Sailors on long voyages and scholars in candlelit studies have known this very sound. This remarkable continuity across time and space and circumstance gives the purr a quality of timelessness, of connection to something enduring and eternal. When you hear it, you hear something essentially unchanged by millennia, a living link to all who have heard it before. The humble domestic cat has even adapted successfully to modern apartment living, thriving in compact spaces that would have seemed impossibly confining to its wild ancestors' roaming open landscapes. As long as basic means for food, water, stimulation, and affection are consistently met, cats can find genuine contentment in remarkably limited quarters, making them ideal companions for urban dwellers in crowded cities around the world. The purr of a city cat, high above busy streets in a small but cozy apartment, carries precisely the same frequencies and rhythms as the purr of a barn cat resting in hay in the open countryside. In shelters and rescue organizations around the world, countless cats wait hopefully for homes and families to call their own. Many of these cats purr readily and enthusiastically for staff and visitors, offering their comfort freely, even from behind cage doors, perhaps instinctively hoping to demonstrate their worthiness for adoption and a second chance. Adopting a shelter cat is a beautiful act of kindness that brings its own rich rewards in return. That cat, once uncertain and perhaps frightened, will gradually learn to trust in its new home, and its purr will become a daily gift of gratitude, a thank you expressed in vibration. Every cat rescued from uncertainty and loneliness, every cat given a safe and loving permanent home, represents a small but meaningful victory for kindness in a world that sometimes seems to have too little of it. The purrs of rescued cats may carry a particularly sweet quality, tinged perhaps with the relief of safety finally found after periods of fear and deprivation. If you have adopted a cat from a shelter or rescue, you know this special quality well. The cat that once knew fear and uncertainty has learned to trust again, and its purr is the very sound of healing, of a second chance gratefully embraced. As we continue to drift together through the peaceful night, let us appreciate the precious gift of sleep that awaits us, drawing ever nearer with each passing moment. Sleep, like the purr itself, is a natural blessing, a state that restores and heals without requiring any effort or intention on our part. To sleep well is to give ourselves permission to let go completely, to trust that the world will continue perfectly well without our conscious attention for a few restorative hours. The purring cat models this beautiful surrender, this complete and unapologetic release into the arms of rest and restoration. Perhaps you have already noticed that your breathing has slowed its pace, that your muscles have begun to soften and release their habitual tension. This is the body's natural and wise response to sustained calm, to the absence of threat and demand. The gentle rhythm of these words, like the steady rhythm of a purr, is designed to encourage and support this relaxation without forcing anything. There is nothing you need to actively do, nothing you need to figure out or decide. Simply allow the natural process of rest to unfold at its own gentle, unhurried pace, trusting your body's ancient wisdom. The world outside your walls continues its endless motions and activities, but here, in this present moment of rest, all is quiet and still. The concerns and responsibilities of the day fade naturally into the background, losing their urgent edge, becoming manageable problems that future you will handle with ease when the time comes. What seemed pressing and demanding just a few hours ago now seems distant and less important, matters that can certainly wait until you are rested and restored. For now, in this soft pocket of night, there is only gentleness, only stillness, only the steady drift toward peaceful, restorative sleep. If a cat is near you at this moment, imagine its purr expanding to fill the entire room with invisible waves of peace and comfort. If no cat is physically present, imagine one nonetheless, a gentle and loving presence curled contentedly nearby, its warm body rising and falling with each peaceful breath, its purr a constant companion through the quiet hours ahead. The imagination is remarkably powerful, and even an imagined purr, vividly conjured and gratefully received, can carry some significant measure of the original sound's calming effect. Let this imagined sound be a gift you generously give yourself tonight. In these final stretches of our journey together through the world of purring, let us allow everything to slow even further, matching the deepening rhythm of approaching sleep. The words themselves will grow fewer and further apart, the pauses between them lengthening naturally. This gradual fading is entirely intentional, a gentle dimming that mirrors the approach of sleep itself. Like the slow darkening of lights at the end of a peaceful day, we are preparing together for the deep quiet that awaits beyond the threshold of waking. There is no hurry in this process. There never was and never will be. The purr has been our faithful companion through all these hours together, a thread of comfort connecting each segment of our quiet exploration. It has taken us from the ancient homes along the Nile to the modern apartments of great cities, From the intricate science of vibration and frequency to the tender warmth of personal bonds formed across the species divide. Through every topic and tangent, the purr has remained what it has always been across the long millennia, a sound of peace, a vibration of comfort, a generous gift from the animal kingdom that asks nothing in return. Cats themselves have no conscious awareness of the effect their purring has on the humans around them. They purr simply because it is in their nature to purr, because purring serves their own biological and emotional purposes of communication and self-soothing. The fact that their purr also happens to be profoundly calming to an entirely different species is a fortunate coincidence of evolution, a happy accident of biology that benefits us enormously without costing them anything at all. We receive this gift without the cat's deliberate intention to give it, yet perhaps conscious intention is not necessary for a gift to be genuinely precious and worth treasuring. As you rest now in whatever comfort you have found, consider for a peaceful moment all the cats who have ever purred across all the centuries of shared history, in all the corners and climates of the inhabited world. Imagine this vast and gentle course of sound, an unbroken chain of vibration, stretching back through time to the very first purr ever produced by the very first cat to share a human home. You are connected to this ancient lineage, part of its ongoing and unfinished story. Every moment spent in the calming company of a purring cat adds another small note to this eternal, gentle song. Tomorrow, or the day after, or sometime in the near future, you will likely encounter a purring cat again somewhere in your life. Perhaps it will be your own beloved companion, greeting you with familiar affection. Perhaps a friend's cat, who decides you are worthy of attention. Perhaps even a friendly neighborhood cat, who allows you a brief moment of connection in passing. When that moment comes, remember something of what we have explored together tonight. Appreciate the frequency and rhythm, the ancient history, the generous biology of that simple, beautiful sound emerging from that small, warm body. The purr asks absolutely nothing of you in return for what it gives. It makes no demands, requires no particular response, needs no acknowledgement to continue its generous offering. You can simply receive it openly, allowing the sound to wash over you and through you like warm water, like gentle rain falling on a summer garden, like the soft touch of someone who genuinely cares for your well-being. In a world that so often demands much of us and gives little in return, the purr offers something increasingly rare and precious, unconditional peace, freely available to anyone who pauses long enough to listen. Let your thoughts grow soft now, like clouds at evening losing their sharp, defined edges and blending gradually into the gentle sky around them. You have thought enough for one day, considered enough questions, engaged with enough demands. Now is the sacred time for thought itself to rest, for the busy, analytical mind to grow quiet and still, for conscious awareness to soften into the comfortable blur that naturally precedes the blessing of deep, restorative sleep. The transition is already happening within you, whether you notice it consciously or not. If these words are still reaching you at all, let them come and go without any effort to hold on to them or remember their content. You need not grasp at anything being said, need not file it away for later use. These words are like leaves floating peacefully down a slow-moving stream, passing by your awareness and then disappearing gently around the bend, gone, but leaving a subtle sense of peace in their wake. Watch them drift by with peaceful detachment. You are safe in this moment. You are comfortable. The wider world can certainly wait until you are fully ready to greet it again. Somewhere in the world right now, a cat purrs contentedly in the darkness of night. Perhaps it rests nearby in your own home. Perhaps far away in some distant place you will never visit. It makes no real difference to the comfort the thought provides. The purr exists as it has always existed, as it will continue to exist for as long as cats and humans share this earth together. This fundamental continuity is itself a deep comfort. While you sleep tonight, cats will continue purring. While you dream your human dreams, they will continue their ancient, gentle song, and the world will hold steady. The imagined purr is slowing now in your awareness, growing softer and more spread out. Each vibration lasting a little longer, each pause between pulses extending a little more. This is the natural rhythm of approaching sleep, a gradual slowing of all things as consciousness prepares to release its hold on the waking world. Breathe with this slowing rhythm if you wish. Let your breath grow naturally long and slow and deep, matching the eternal patience of the purring cat, surrendering willingly and gratefully to the rest your body and mind so richly deserve. We enter now the quietest and most peaceful part of our journey together. The intellectual exploration is essentially complete, the stories told, the science gently explained. What remains is simply rest itself, simply peace in its purest form, simply the gentle fading of awareness that leads naturally to the realm of dreams. Now there is only softness, only stillness, only the patient and loving hum of a universe that holds all its sleeping creatures with equal tenderness and care. Perhaps you are already drifting between states of consciousness, moving between wakefulness and the first soft edges of sleep, like a leaf floating on gentle currents. This threshold space between waking and sleeping is precious and worth appreciating. Here, in this liminal zone, the analytical mind begins to loosen its constant grip on experience, and the deeper, more intuitive self emerges into awareness. Thoughts become less linear, more fluid and dreamlike. Images may arise unbidden from some inner source. The purr, remembered or imagined, becomes part of this dreaming landscape, woven into whatever gentle visions await. The cat, in your imagination, settles deeper into its own peaceful sleep as well, matching your journey toward rest. Its eyes have closed completely, its small body relaxed utterly into whatever warm surface it has chosen for its bed. Yet even in this deep sleep, the purr continues ever so softly, a low hum at the very edge of perception, almost more felt than heard now. This is the sound of total peace, of a creature so completely safe and comfortable that it has released all vigilance, all alertness, all need to monitor its surroundings. Pure rest remains. You too can let go of vigilance now, releasing whatever watchfulness you may have been unconsciously maintaining. Whatever you have been alert for, Whatever concerns have kept some part of your awareness on guard can be safely released for these precious hours of restoration. Nothing requires your attention until the morning light returns. The doors are secured, the world outside is quiet, and you are held in the gentle, protective embrace of night itself. Relax completely into this safety. It is real, and it is yours to enjoy. Feel how the weight of your physical body presses gently into whatever surface supports you now. Notice how the bed or chair or couch beneath you accepts your weight without complaint, asking nothing in return for its constant, reliable support. This support is always there for you, utterly dependable. You can trust it completely, giving your full weight to its patient care without reservation or holding back. Let gravity do its quiet work now, pulling you gently downward into ever deeper comfort, into rest, into the welcoming and restorative arms of peaceful sleep. Each part of your body can relax in its own time, releasing in sequence or all together, though there is no need to work actively at this process. Simply notice, if you still wish to notice anything at all, that your feet are at rest, heavy and warm and still. Notice your legs soft against the surface beneath them, your hands lying open and relaxed, your arms without tension. Your shoulders have released their habitual holding. Your face has softened around the eyes and mouth. Everything is letting go. Everything is settling. Everything is preparing for sleep. The breath flows in and out entirely on its own now, requiring no attention or effort whatsoever, guided by wisdom far older than conscious thought. Your body knows how to breathe perfectly well without supervision, knows how to rest without instruction, knows how to heal and restore itself during the sacred hours of sleep. Trust this ancient wisdom completely. You need not oversee or manage these fundamental processes. They will continue beautifully without your conscious attention, just as they have since the moment you were born, just as they will continue until your final peaceful breath. The purr has become almost a feeling now, rather than a sound, something sensed in the heart and body rather than heard distinctly by the ears. It is a warmth, a presence, a vibration felt deep within rather than perceived from outside. This is perhaps the essence of the purr distilled to its purest and most potent form. Not a sound in the ordinary sense, but a state of being. Not a noise from an external source, but a quality of peace that pervades everything it touches, including you as you rest in its gentle influence. The world beyond your walls is somewhere preparing for another cycle, another day of activity and effort. But that world is very far away now, separated from this present moment by hours of healing sleep yet to come. Here in this small and sacred pocket of peace you have created around yourself, time moves at a different pace entirely, barely seeming to move at all. Here, there is only the eternal now, only this breath, only this comfort. The future will arrive in its own time. For now, there is only deep and deserving rest. If these words are still reaching you at all, let them grow fainter and more distant, like sounds heard from far away or remembered from long ago. They are stepping back respectfully, giving you space and permission to sleep. The gentle voice will continue for a while longer, for those who wish to hear it. But there is absolutely no expectation that you remain awake to listen. Sleep is the destination we have been traveling toward together all this time. If you have already arrived there, that is exactly as it should be. Rest now and rest well. Deeper still into peace, the night holds you in its gentle and protective hands. Countless stars wheel slowly overhead in their ancient patterns, though you need not see them to feel their calm influence. The planet itself turns steadily on its axis, carrying you through the darkness toward the distant light of dawn. You are part of this great and gentle rotation, moving through space at speeds beyond comprehension, yet feeling nothing but perfect stillness. The universe cradles all its sleeping creatures tonight with equal tenderness, and you are among their blessed number. Cats across the entire planet are dreaming right now, in all their hundreds of millions. Small paws twitch as they chase imaginary prey through meadows made of memory and desire. Whiskers quiver at scents conjured from the depths of feline imagination. In humble shelters and grand mansions alike, in simple farmhouses and towering apartments, cats are curled in their countless chosen spots, their collective purrs forming a barely perceptible but very real global chorus of contentment, a hum beneath the threshold of ordinary hearing that, nevertheless, adds something gentle to the fabric of the night. You are part of this global community of rest tonight, though you may not have thought of belonging to such a community before. Every sleeping creature on Earth shares something fundamental with every other. We all surrender consciousness for these healing hours, trusting the world to continue safely without our watchful attention. We all enter the strange and personal realm of dreams, where the ordinary rules of waking life fall away and other logics prevail. Sleep is the great equalizer, making partners of all who enter its peaceful domain. Perhaps in your dreams tonight, if dreams come to you at all, a cat will make an appearance, padding softly through some imagined landscape. Perhaps it will curl beside you in some dream world room, its purr filling the imagined air with familiar comfort. Such visitations are gifts from the sleeping mind to itself, images that carry meaning beyond their surface forms. Welcome this dream cat if it should come. Let its phantom purr soothe you even deeper into rest, carrying you gently into layers of sleep you rarely have the chance to reach. The deepest and most restorative sleep is approaching now, the kind from which dreamers do not easily or quickly wake. This is the sleep that truly heals and restores, that allows the body to perform its most profound repair work, that permits the mind to fully process and release the accumulated experiences of the day. You are ready for this deep rest, fully deserving of it. You have earned it through the simple but demanding act of living another day in a complex world. Accept this rest as your rightful due. Let the last remaining conscious thoughts release their hold and drift peacefully away. They are not needed now and will return easily in the morning if you want them back then. The mind can be blissfully empty for these precious hours, a clear vessel receiving only dreams. This emptiness is not a loss to be mourned, but a liberation to be celebrated, a temporary but profound freedom from the constant chatter and activity of waking thought. Embrace this emptiness as the gift it truly is, a space for deep restoration. The purr has faded now to the faintest possible whisper, barely there at all, like a memory of a memory, the softest echo of an echo. It is still present if you reach for it, but reaching seems like too much effort now. This is exactly as it should be, how things naturally fade as we approach the threshold of deep sleep, gently, gradually, without sharp edges or sudden disruptions. The purr becomes silence. The silence becomes sleep. The sleep becomes restoration and peace, and the quiet continuation of blessed life. In this deep and sacred quietude, there is nothing left that needs to be said. Words have served their gentle purpose, carrying you from full wakefulness toward the shores of rest. Now the words themselves can rest too, falling silent in peaceful sympathy with your sleeping mind. What remains is only peace in its purest form. Only stillness without the need for commentary. Only the gentle continuation of existence that requires no narration or explanation. You are held safely in this moment. You are entirely safe. You are profoundly at rest. Morning will come eventually, as it always reliably does, following the ancient pattern of night and day that has governed this planet for billions of years. The sun will rise over the horizon, painting the sky with gentle colors. Birds will begin their morning songs. Cats will stretch their limber bodies and yawn and begin their new day of rest and occasional play. But all of that remains far away, separated from this present moment by many restorative hours of healing sleep. Let morning come when it naturally comes. For now, there is only this peaceful night. Sleep well, gentle traveler through the realm of purring. You have journeyed with patience and openness through a landscape of science and history, of biology and emotion, of connection and comfort. You have emerged at last into the borderlands of dreams, where rest awaits like a loving friend. May your sleep tonight be deep and truly restorative. May you wake when the time comes feeling genuinely refreshed and ready for whatever the new day brings. And may there always be a purr nearby whenever you need one most. Now the words grow very few, and the spaces between them widen like pools of silence. Each sentence becomes a small, isolated island in a vast and peaceful sea of quiet. You may still hear these final offerings, or you may have already drifted beyond their reach into the welcoming depths of sleep. Either way is perfectly right and good. These last gentle words are offered without any expectation, small gifts left at the threshold of sleep for anyone who might still receive them with gratitude. The purr, steady and ancient beyond measure, older than recorded human memory, woven deeply into the fabric of shared experience between species since the very first cats chose to approach the first human fires. It asks nothing from you but offers everything it has. A simple vibration of peace from a small and somehow perfect creature. Remember this sound always. It is here for you whenever you need it, as constant and reliable as the turning of the earth itself. Rest now in complete peace. The night embraces you with gentle arms. The cat, whether real or lovingly imagined, purrs softly beside you still, its warm body a small furnace of comfort. The healing frequency of that gentle sound continues to hum through your very cells, doing its ancient work of restoration. You are at peace. You are held securely. You are drifting now into the vast and gentle darkness where all sleepers go to be renewed. Let go completely. Rest fully. Go sleep deeply. Breathe slowly. Breathe deeply. Breathe easily. The breath continues its ancient rhythm without any need for guidance. The heart beats on in its steady, tireless pattern. The body knows exactly what to do. Trust the profound wisdom of this living vessel that carries you through existence. Trust the night to hold you safely. Trust the purr to continue its gentle work even as you sleep. Trust the ancient, reliable processes that guide all sleeping creatures safely through darkness and back again into light. In the stillness of complete rest, nothing more needs to happen. Nothing needs to be done or analyzed or decided upon. The work and demands of the day are entirely complete, filed away until tomorrow requires them again. The only task that remains is rest itself, and rest is not truly a task at all, but rather its beautiful opposite. Rest is release, surrender, a gentle falling into the loving arms of sleep that have been waiting patiently for you all along. Purring, ever so soft now, continuous as flowing water over ancient stones, gentle as wind passing through patient old-growth trees, steady as the turning of the earth itself, so perfectly reliable that it feels like stillness. This is the texture of deep peace. This is the fabric of profound rest. Let it wrap around you completely, covering you like the softest and warmest blanket ever woven, protecting you through all the healing hours of night. Good night, gentle listener. Thank you sincerely for traveling through the peaceful world of purring with us tonight. May your sleep be genuinely deep and profoundly restorative. May your dreams, if they come, be kind and comforting. And may the soft, healing vibration of feline peace stay with you like a blessing, like a gift, like a warm memory, long after you wake to greet another day. Rest now. Rest deeply. Rest well. The cat purrs on, steady and patient, and all is well. All is well. All is well. All is well.